Hello and welcome to Happy Horror Time. My name is Tim Murdoch.
And my name is Matt Emmert. We're here with another news commentary. It's me, Tim, and Tim's Bangs today.
That's right. Bang, bang.
Bang, bang. And we're dressed like Starburst. Do you like our Starburst colors, Tim?
Yeah, I do.
We're feeling extra sunny and refreshing.
Because it's summer.
You're right. Well, sort of. Well, now it's the after Memorial Day. So, jumping right into it, the first news event, well, it's really just that Dangerous Animals, which is coming out on June 6th, has had a strong debut on Rotten Tomatoes. Apparently, it already has an 89% from critics, and it's had 18 reviews so far. Now, not saying that critics are right about everything.
Everything.
But it's a good sign. Am I right, Tim?
Yes.
Would you rather have a movie that had well, actually, we have no audience ratings yet. We just have critics ratings. But apparently high praise has been given to the main actor, Jai Courtney. Do you remember him?
No.
From Die Hard, or A Good Day to Die Hard. He was in, I know I've mentioned this, Spartacus, where he's almost
okay.
fully...
I've heard of Spartacus.
Almost fully naked. Terminator Genesis. He's an Australian actor, and he is quite the
I love
villain.
an accent.
You do love an accent, and he's quite a villain, but apparently there's high praise for it. One quote I wanted to read came from Time Out critic Philip DeSemian. Not DeSemian.
Oh, why?
He said, it takes a steady hand to pull off a horror film as outlandish as Dangerous Animals, but director Sean Byrne has pulled off something slick and confident here. It'll keep horror fans out of the water for years, Tim.
You know, I love the trailer, and I'm really going to date myself. If you watch the trailer, it goes like doop, 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 right at the end. And it also, in the movie Leviathan, which also takes place underwater.
Yeah.
So, I mean, not that, I'm sure this is a far superior film, but at the time, Leviathan was huge.
But notice they're going for like the whole Jaws thing of it's going to scare people out of the water. Now, we'll have to see. We are going to be reviewing this movie, so we'll have to see what we think. Will it hold up to the hype? But more importantly, are we going to go in thinking it's really great because of all this praise and then be disappointed? What's going to happen, Tim? Tell me.
I think it will be great. I honestly do. I'm not just saying that. And I'm also scared to just be in a pool or a lake or an ocean because of Jaws. So there you go.
The funny thing about this movie, though, that sets it apart from those is that it's not, in this movie, it's not that the ocean creatures are causing the havoc. It's someone who is like manipulating and throwing people to these creatures as food.
Right.
So,
I mean, in the trailer, I saw him dance around in his underwear and also wearing a robe. And I'm like, what am I getting myself into?
All I'm saying is they know how to get the right audience. Am I right?
Well, I mean, I doubt they were going for the gay audience, but you have our attention.
Whether you're going for them or not, you got them. Okay, so more SMG, Sarah Michelle Gellar news. She had kind of a funny quote over last week. She was talking to Entertainment Tonight, and she was talking about Scream 7, and she like jokingly said, oh, they were bringing everybody back. I kept thinking I would get a call, and I didn't get a call. And the interviewer told her, they're like, well, you died in Scream 2. And she's like, yeah, but a lot of people died. They're bringing back like Skeet Ulrich, Matthew Lillard. I'm just saying I'm waiting for my call. Here's my issue with that quote. You ready, Tim?
It's, I know where you're going with this because I feel the exact same way.
Okay, so this is my issue. Apparently, and with the caveat that I love Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Me too.
Loved all of her 90s horror roles. What I found to be a little odd was that apparently there was a lot of press before I Know What You Did Last Summer that the director, Jennifer Caton Robertson, is a good friend of Sarah Michelle Gellar's and was like begging her to reprise the role of Helen Shivers. And she said, which we all agreed with, she's like, no, Helen's dead. I can't be in it. So then a few weeks later for her to be saying like, I want to be in Scream 7. Who cares that I'm dead? It seemed weird.
Yeah, well, she made such a point to say, I'm dead, I'm dead, I'm dead. So when the reporter was like, well, you said this, she's like, oh, I want to be. Well, maybe she prefers Scream over I Know You Did Last Summer, which is totally fine.
That's what I was wondering. Is it because Scream has such mass appeal? Although I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Do.
I know, that's the thing. I Know What You Did Last Summer is like from the same crop. What is the phrase?
The same vine?
Cut from the same
Cloth?
Cloth, yes. Not a crop, a cloth. They are cut from the same cloth. So I'm wondering, these are my thoughts. Either she was just trying to be playful and she knew she wouldn't have seriously gone back. She was just trying to say, hey, they're inviting everyone back. Why didn't I get a call? Or she prefers Scream over I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Which do you prefer?
Oh God, I mean Scream, but they're so good. What I want to know is, which do you prefer? Tell us in the comments. Would you have rather had Sarah Michelle Gellar back in I Know What You Did Last Summer or in the Scream series? But I also think she didn't quite understand that the only dead people they're bringing back to Scream 7 are dead killers. They're not bringing like random victims.
You mean not random Cece?
Yeah, like can you imagine? They're like, Sydney, we're gonna haunt you with a hologram of like a sorority girl you never knew.
That's true. They didn't have one scene together.
They didn't interact at all. So can you imagine the killer's like plays a clip of Cece and Sydney's like, what?
She's like, what's this?
What? She's like, no, she does Mariah Carey. I don't know her.
I don't know her.
Anyway, so another Sarah Michelle Gellar news, just a small bit of more Buffy reboot news. She was asked if the Buffy reboot would honor Michelle Trachtenberg, who played Dawn, who unfortunately passed away a few months ago, was it?
Yeah, that sounds right.
She said, very simple quote, "We'll do something, we'll do what's appropriate." Now, that doesn't tell us much, but knowing that she's taken such care to look after this Buffy reboot, and Dawn was such an important character in the series, I have to imagine they're going to mention her and treat her with respect. I hope they do.
I have very little knowledge of the show that you love.
I know, yeah.
But she's played her sister, right?
Yes, but
okay,
it was
so I know that.
But here's the funny thing. Buffy didn't have a sister until like, I think it was season 5. And then randomly all their memories were erased and the sister just existed in the timeline. And I remember when I first watched it, I was like, that's a cheap excuse to throw a new character in. But then they explained it and everything. Anyway, they were really close. I'm sure she'll honor her. Of course, last time we reported that they found a new Slayer who's going to be played by Ryan Kira Armstrong from Firestarter. So it is very much like moving forward, and hopefully they honor Michelle Trachtenberg in a great way, because that was such an unfortunate passing. Like, it's just so sad. Anyway, I'm going to turn things around.
Turn it around.
No more sad news. Okay. Well, even that fucking thing. Okay. So I don't know if you guys are fans of the movie Practical Magic. And the funny thing is that Practical Magic isn't really horror, but it does deal with witches. So it kind of...
Yeah, I think it's horror, and I want to say gay men love it. And I think gay women, anyone
women,
loves it.
straight women, straight men. Practical Magic, a number of weeks ago, they said that Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman had signed on for a sequel, Practical Magic 2. But the latest news is that Joey King, as in she was in Wish Upon, The Act, she was in the Kissing Booth movies, she will apparently be playing Nicole Kidman's daughter in the sequel.
She already played her daughter, didn't she? In the movie with Zac Efron?
Oh, God.
I think.
Is that when Zac Efron and Nicole Kidman had the affair?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, but I guess she's getting real adjusted.
I guess so, but I could be completely wrong, so don't hold me to it.
Okay. Apparently, Practical Magic 2 is going to be directed by Bird Box director Suzanne Bier. Now, apparently, she has a good relationship with Sandra Bullock, because Sandra Bullock was in Bird Box, and Bird Box I love.
I did too, with Sarah Paulson, who has got a small role. I just gave it away.
Oh my God. Poor Sarah Paulson in Bird Box. And Akiva Goldsmith, who co-wrote the original Practical Magic, is going to be writing the sequel. It's not coming out until September 18th of 2026. How they can even put a release date on something so far ahead? Like, how the fuck do they know?
No, they can, because it's so far ahead.
Oh, you mean that they can say that and then it'll change a million times? Yeah. Okay, so here's the thing.
Actually, it's not that far away.
A year and some change. Okay, I watched Practical Magic just this past weekend for the first time, and I know I'm gonna kill our video editor and newest co-producer Paris by saying this, but I didn't love it, Tim.
I can second that, but I did like the first half. I didn't like the second half. I just thought it fell to pieces. But I kind of liked when the two women were taking out the abusive boyfriend.
Yeah,
I was like, that's exciting.
That was great, but I think I was expecting a much more hocus pocusy witch story. And I felt like the witchcraft and Practical Magic took like a back seat to the character relationships. Now, not that that's bad, but when I'm going in wanting to watch a movie about witches and the spells and stuff are kind of in it, but not that focused. Like, it was more about Sandra Bullock falling in love, the curse of all the men dying, and then them covering up that murder.
Do you remember the name of the one that likes Sandra Bullock? What his real name, the actor?
Is it Aidan Quaid?
Yeah. Quinn, I am so impressed.
I mean, I saw it like a few days ago, so like, don't be that impressed. But so I'm hoping that maybe part 2 will be a little bit more witchy, not bitchy.
I wonder if Rizzo from Grease is also going to be in it, and the mom from Lost Boys.
So Diane Wiest and Stockard Channing were two of my favorites in there because they were like straight up witch, and I'm saying that because everything they did in the movie, like they looked witchy, everything was spells.
Potions.
So I want them to be in it. But another person who was very young in Practical Magic was Evan Rachel Wood. She played Sandra Bullock's daughter. You think they'll get her back?
Fingers crossed.
Call up Evan. Get her on the phone.
Oh, okay.
Evan? With no numbers. Yeah. Okay, she's not answering. Anyway, okay, another piece of news is that the Philippou.
I'm so glad you're pronouncing that.
The brothers who made Talk to Me gave a quick update on Talk to Me 2. Now, right now, all the press for them is about the movie Bring Her Back, which is coming out actually this Friday. And there's been a lot of, a lot of hype for it, a lot about how scary it is. It's also dealing with grief, but everyone loved Talk to Me, and so they said basically that it's very much happening, but right now, you're going to love this, Tim, they're focused on a documentary that they're almost done with, which is around the world of deathmatch wrestling.
Oh,
now,
okay.
And it's a documentary. Now,
that's not my thing. I would never watch deathmatch wrestling.
I don't know when they say deathmatch.
Like, does that mean till death?
Well, that's what I'm wondering, if that's a metaphor for those really intense, like AFC, UFC matches, or if they mean real wrestling to the death.
Okay,
I don't know.
Is that the same as cage fighting?
There's all sorts of them. That's what I mean. It's like, then sometimes they call it a death match, but I don't think they ever take it to the death unless it's in some like other country.
But I remember cage fighting being extremely brutal and bloody and gross.
They get fucked up. But apparently they're working on this documentary. They did say they also are working on another original horror movie. So this is the order of priorities for the brothers. Documentary on deathmatch wrestling, a new horror movie, and then Talk to Me 2. Even though it's third in line, they said they have 2 different versions of the script already for Talk to Me 2 with 2 different sets of characters, and apparently there's one scene in one of them that they said is going to be one of the best things they've ever shot. Now,
I've only seen Talk to Me once.
Yeah, but it was great.
It was good. I saw it in the theater, and I haven't gone back because I'm too scared.
Too scared? Well, I mean, it won't be in the theater anymore.
Well, I don't want to watch it at home. It's scary.
Well, I would love to know what our listeners and watchers think. Are you excited about Talk to Me 2? Do you wish that they would prioritize that over these other projects? Are you excited to see what original projects they have?
Talk to me.
Talk to me. So the very last piece of news, and it's just an update, over last weekend, the new Fear Street Prom Queen movie debuted on Netflix, and apparently, even though it was panned by critics, it has a 27% from critics, 28% on Rotten Tomatoes from audience members. It scored either the number 1 or number 2 slot on Netflix top 10 streaming chart since it debuted in the US, in Canada, and a handful of other countries.
I loved it, and I'm happy it's in the top 1 or 2 spot.
I didn't feel the same as Tim, but you all can hear all our thoughts on this movie because we are covering it in our next episode. And not only that, we have a special guest to break it down with us. It's our good friend, Hiko Mitsuzuka, who...
Fear Street expert.
Yes, he runs Fear Street Diaries, a page on Instagram, which is dedicated to all the books of Fear Street. He has been a fan since he was a kid, so he lives and breathes Fear Street. But, I'm not going to say I'm surprised it's doing so well because I knew that everybody would want to see it.
I'm curious if it was just called Prom Queen, if it would have the same result.
Yeah. The thing is that it got, I think a lot of the people were judging it next to the other Fear Street movies, and they think it performed not as well as them. But like you said, if it was just called Prom Queen, would it have been judged so harshly?
Do you think it would even have been in the top 10?
Well, that's another good point. Would it have been done as well? It wouldn't have been judged as harshly, but who knows? You put Fear Street on a movie. Also, it's a prom slasher set in the 80s. Every horror movie fan wants to see that, right?
I agree 110%. And you know what? I'd watch it again.
Yeah, well, stay tuned again for our episode, which comes out on Monday when we are reviewing Fear Street Prom Queen with our friend Hiko. And for now, that is our horror news commentary.
Bang, bang.
Thanks, bye.